Ohayou gozaimasu. Okay, doing an update for, I'm assuming day 17, 18, 19. So, let's see. Day 17. It's my full day in Nagasaki. Got up, had my little breakfast that I was able to buy at the 7-Eleven the night before, and got myself ready, out the door. Took that lovely walk back through the tunnel and on the side of the road back to the bus station. The bus there, there was a kid there that was riding the bus on her own, and so thankfully with Google Translate I was able to ask her what the name of the bus stop was, so I could get back there and to find out the name of the bus line that I was on. I gotta figure out how to get back here later. So it's an hour bus ride into Nagasaki Station. And I have my little list that I made I went and looked at what are the best foods to have in Nagasaki. And out of all these lists, there were 3 things that I had narrowed it down to based on whether or not I'd like them or I was in the mood for them, and if they were actually close by. Because there were a lot of things that seemed really awesome, but they were actually like an hour outside of the city. So I was like, nope, not doing those. And 2 of the things I was able to take care of immediately. So just like other bus stations and major bus terminals, this one has pretty much a mall. It's literally a mall. Attached to it, there's a movie theater. There's a Tokyo Hands. So it's a mall. So I went, and one of the things they said you should get is Castella. It's a kind of pound cake that they make, and walk into the mall right at the entrance of the train station, and there's the place that they suggest you buy the Castella from. So I got that, and another kind of thing that looks kind of like 2 pancakes put together, but has red bean paste in the middle. So I got those, and I got the individual ones because I didn't want to spend so much and get a whole bunch of it, because then I'm just going to have to either carry it or eat it all, and I didn't want to put myself in that position. So I got the little individually wrapped ones, which meant I could also put them in my bag and save them for later, which is what I did. So then I went upstairs to the 5th floor and went to Umino Cafe and Bar, and I went there to get milk seki. Apparently you can get milk seki around the country. It's, I don't know, like a sweetened milk beverage, but here it's like shaved ice. It's the closest thing I found anywhere to Suno in Atlanta, which is a Japanese dessert place that I absolutely loved. Shaved ice dessert. Oh, it's incredible. So I went and got that. They have just the banana, and I asked the waitress which one was her favorite, my server, and she said she's going to go with the banana. I was very happy with my choice. It was incredible. It did not last long. So from there I went to the information desk, and I wanted to find a place to get wagyu beef. That was the other thing that was suggested that I get. The place that they had suggested on the website was an hour away, so I asked them what's one that's close by, the best one, and they already had a pamphlet ready with the coupon on the front, so I held on to that. I had just missed the lunchtime slot for it, so I figured I'd wait for dinner. So in the meantime, I decided to go to the Peace Park and Memorial in Nagasaki. Rode the streetcar over there and walked through the Memorial Hall this time. I didn't get to do that in Hiroshima, so I made sure to do that here. It's it's really lovely and beautiful how they have decided to commemorate the people who died, and walked through there and took my time, and then didn't have much time left to then walk through the atomic bomb museum that they have. I made it in there just before they allow the last people through, which only left me just 30 minutes to make it through. Thankfully, this one it's much smaller than the one in Hiroshima. I don't think, because Nagasaki is kind of on a southern part of Kyushu, one of the major islands, and it's towards the southern part. If you have a short trip, you do have to decide to go directly to Nagasaki, or you just don't go. It's not close enough to just like, oh, I'll just hop on over there for a day. So it's not as I guess, foreigner friendly in terms of signage and information. Google does not include their, I might have mentioned this already, Google does not include their bus public transit on as a transit option. There are no transit options when you look on Google Maps for how to get around until you get into the city, and then it's just really, it's kind of limited. And it's not really in English, so you got to really work to figure it out. But I felt like I could feel that as I was in the museum and just looking around, because there's so much that you just don't understand. It's not in Japanese. I mean, it's in Japanese, it's not in English. I could have probably gotten another audio tour, but with 30 minutes, I wasn't going to press it. But this one also, it wasn't as big or maybe as glamorous, but you know, you're not there to be wowed by how beautiful the facilities are. You're there to learn about what happened, to hopefully keep this from ever happening again. So I made my way through there. I was first taking photos and video, and I had messed up recording something, and I was about to decide if I should try it again or not. And there was a school group. I kept seeing students on a Sunday in their school uniform and on their school campuses. As I was coming into Nagasaki Station earlier in the day, I was like, why is there school on Sunday? I mean, they work really hard, but I'm thinking that it was just because they had a school trip. Because I walked in just ahead of a group of what I'm assuming are high school students who were going through the museum. But as I was trying to figure out if I should redo this video, one of the teachers and the student, I'm assuming she's probably the one with the best English, had to come over and tell me that, you're not allowed to take pictures. I'd seen signs that you could take pictures, just not with a flash. But maybe I missed one in this particular area, and they said that, no pictures at all. So I thanked them for that. I appreciated that, and just put my camera away and my phone, and just decided, let's go ahead and charge it up anyway, because I was running dangerously low on my battery. But just walking through there and seeing a lot of similarities to what was the stories and the things that happened in Hiroshima, different artifacts, and still just utterly heartbreaking to walk through and see this and to hear people's stories. So made it through there. I went to a table where they allow you to make a crane as part of all the peace cranes that the thousands and thousands of peace cranes that they have. So I made one and left mine with the collection of all the others. I kind of rushed my way through, but made it through that. And then they have an observatory in a park area, so I kind of took some pictures there and went up to the observatory to get a really good view of Nagasaki. It's sheltered within mountains, so just got a lovely view of what was happening there, what it looks like. And from there decided, okay, let's go get my wagyu beef. So I go get back on the streetcar and make my way over to the wagyu beef place. I arrive, and they gave, just need to wait a couple minutes, and then they showed me to this area, and it's like the traditional Japanese dining rooms that you see in movies, where you take off your shoes and you go and you sit down at that low table, and it's got I guess kind of like the tatami mats on the floor, the bamboo mats. I had this room all to myself. I took video of it, of going in there. It was amazing. Just had my own little private dining experience. Because they had other booths and tables out, but I got a private dining experience. Grilled up my food. It was delicious. My food was so good. And indulge myself long enough there, but then realize I have to get back. I've got to figure out how to get the bus back. And then the later it gets, it's already past dark, the later it gets, the less comfortable I'm getting with the idea of walking through that tunnel. So I'm wandering around. I see the bus number 20, that I had ridden into the city, and I saw driving all around the area I was staying at. But then I stopped one to ask them if I can take that bus back, and they're like, nope. It looks like they're all decommissioned for the night, and I finally figure out, yeah, that bus stops running. And where I was, all those buses went to the airport. So I had to make my way back to Nagasaki Station. And then I'm trying to figure out on the sheets they displayed at the bus stop which bus I'm supposed to get on. And I'm waiting. I never see bus 20. And I'm trying my best to read what's on the signs posted, and couldn't figure it out. So after about 30 minutes, I go over to the taxi stand, and I'm asking them, okay, where do I catch the bus back to Azakari, where I'm staying? And they're like, oh, right over there, those buses. I was like, okay. So I go back and I wait, and it's like, okay, I can't wait here forever. Let me just ask someone. So I asked the lady, which bus? And as she's standing there, she goes up to look at the signs, and she's trying to figure it out. And then a bus number 1 pulls up, and so she just goes up and asks the driver, Azakari ni ikimasu ka? Are you going to, let's go to Azakari? And he was like, yes. So I was like, just as soon as I asked, my bus showed up. You have not because you asked not, right? So got on the bus, made it back, and I decided I'm not walking back. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm not going to walk back. So when I get to the bus stop, I walk to the 7-Eleven right there, and they call me a cab. I take the cab back, and I'm tired. I want to relax. I want to take a shower, maybe take another bath. This time the hot water is working just fine. Yay. So I'm taking my shower. I'm relaxing, and just as I was finished and just going to just enjoy just relaxing under the water, I glance over my shoulder, and I don't do spiders. Yeah, I know they serve a purpose in the ecosystem, but I hate those things. I've gotten much better about them over the years. It was traumatic for me for a long time, and because it was so bad, I realized I can't have this ruling my life this way. I've got to try to figure a way to handle this. So I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I glance over my shoulder, and there's a massive spider. Yeah, just even talking about it is freaking me out again. I had made the decision that only one of us was going to survive that night. I took steps necessary to get rid of that thing. I was not exaggerating as to the size. I mean, I'm not talking about just the body. I'm talking about the body with the legs. It was like that sucker could almost take up my palm. Okay, calming myself down thinking about it. Yeah, so, I mean, it's funny. As I was just kind of relaxing in the shower, I was trying to figure out how am I going to rate this place on Airbnb. And as I'm thinking about that, that's when I end up having this encounter with one of my biggest phobias. So yeah, their rating is Nagasaki as a city. I could enjoy. That place was that was a big fat no. So I had to get over that trauma, and I had to get rid of it without hurting myself, because it's in a wet, slippery area, and I'm trying to be somewhere where it can't get to me, but I can get rid of it. It was a whole ordeal. Actually took a video of it. But, I'm freaking out. I had to call a friend to help, distract me, calm me down so that I could stop thinking about it and actually go to sleep. I mean, because I came out of there and I'm shaking all the sheets and all the pillows and everything to make sure that there's not another one of those things around. I think that one got in because the window in the bathroom, they just always left it open. So I think that's how it got in, which made me really thankful I didn't open up any of the other windows in the room like I had considered. And my friend told me that, I should at least feel better about the fact that if that spider was that large, it's probably the only one in the area, just in terms of territory. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to find a way to be okay and calm down, finally calm down enough that I can relax and go to sleep. And so then the next morning, I requested that the Airbnb, I'd send them a message asking if they could get me a taxi, 8 in the morning, so they could just take me to the bus stop. I'm not walking with all those bags 30 minutes through treacherous, scary spaces in order to get to the bus stop. So they ordered me a cab. They had arranged it the night before. Of course, it shows up 10 minutes early, so I just kind of threw the last of my stuff together in a bag and left and rearranged everything at the bus stop. Rode the bus in, get to the station, walk around a little, try and find something I want to eat and nibble on before I get on the train. And then I'm just sitting in, I'm waiting for the train to get there and get on it so I can just leave that experience behind. I wouldn't mind coming back to Nagasaki, but I would find something else in terms of lodging. I'd just stay in a hotel because they don't really have, I couldn't find a capsule hotel that took women in the city, and I don't want to go back to that place. It has some work it needs to do if it's going to be the only Airbnb in the entire area. Yes, get on the train from Nagasaki to Hakata. Got here, beautiful, glorious station. Put my stuff in a coin locker, go and get some grub. Decided I was going to walk around a little bit because I had almost 2 hours before I could check in to my place. And they had a Tokyo Hands right there at the station. But this is like a for real Tokyo Hands with multi-levels. So I spent a lot of time going through there, finding some amazing things. You don't want to put me in a paper section somewhere. I'm gonna want to buy stuff. I did buy a couple little things, small things. But had to slow my roll and put a bunch of things back on the shelves. Like, nope, no. It's awesome, but you don't need it. And then had enough time to go back, grab my bags, and walk to my place, which is kind of right behind the train station. It's really convenient. When I'm looking for what I want to do, it's like everything's right around me. First, I look up a spa. It's an awesome spa, a 10-minute walk. And then it turns out I needed a coin laundry, need to do my laundry. That was also just a 10-minute walk. It turns out it was actually kind of right next door to the spa. So I went and I did my laundry. It's really cool. They give you, finally figured out, you put your money in and they give you a card and you get a certain amount of, dollar amount you put on the card. You then put that card into the washing machines and the dryers and you pay for it that way. You don't need detergent. You put stuff in the washing machine, it automatically has detergent and it washes your stuff. So while I was there, you can leave your stuff. There are more dryers, washer and dryers going than people that were sitting in there waiting. And I'd see people come in, grab their stuff or switch it out, leave again. I decided I left at one point to go to the 7-Eleven, and I came back. I noticed that there's a basket sitting there with a number tag on it. If your stuff gets left in the washing machine or the dryer, they have little tags with the number of the machine on it, so you can just put someone's stuff in a basket and put the number on it so that they know that that's their stuff. Nobody's going to mess with it. They're just going to move it out of the way, set it aside for you, so it's ready when you come back. Very nice, very polite. Finished the laundry, came back, dropped it off, got ready, went back to the spa, hung out there for a couple hours. I was going to eat there, but the restaurant area was already closed. So I wanted to stay longer, but my stomach was talking to me. So I went and I wanted to find a different convenience store than a 7-Eleven to find a particular item I wanted. So they're everywhere. I found them walking on my way back, but I also found a grocery store. So I decided to go in the grocery store and kind of stock up on things since I actually have a fridge and a freezer this time and a microwave. I loaded up on stuff and, came back and I ate dinner and finally got to bed. And I'm very happy that I went to the grocery store because I didn't really have a lot of plans for Hakata. I wanted to come somewhere in Fukuoka, but I chose this place because it had an actual Airbnb that I could use that was really cheap. It was really convenient. So that's how I ended up picking Hakata. So when I got here, I decided to look up what I should do here. And I had a plan for yesterday, but the night before it started raining. And I thought, okay, maybe it'll go away. But then I wake up yesterday, like I think it was before 6 a.m., maybe about 5 in the morning, and it's still raining. And I'm tired. You can tell I've got a cough. I've had this cough for almost a week. I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this day to relax and rest and recoup. I don't feel like I'm going to be heartbroken because I didn't make any plans until that night before anyway. And like I said, everything I planned to do was outside, and it's pouring raining outside. So I stayed in and I relaxed yesterday. Drank a lot of tea, and ate pretty much almost all the food that I brought here. I thought it was going to last longer, but I ate it all, except for one little thing that I'm going to have for breakfast this morning. So yesterday was a day of relaxation and making a little more, solidifying my plans a little more for my time in Kyoto, since that's where I'm going next. So yeah, I had a relaxing day yesterday. I just ate everything that I brought with me and tried to give my body a chance to rest, because all of this traveling every other day thing, it wears on you. So that catches us up. That's 3 days worth of recaps. As usual, there's additional photos and videos in this video description. I've packed up and I'm ready to go this morning. Just wanted to stop and do this while I still had time before I actually hit the train station. So I've got about 20 minutes before my train. Thankfully, the train station is right behind me. And yeah, moving on. Hakata was a very graceful thing. Oh, the one thing I figured out here, which is another reason I was happy I didn't leave the apartment yesterday, is as I'm getting on the elevator when I first get here, they tell you there's signs there with video screen captures that say, showing guests coming in with their luggage and saying that this place doesn't allow vacation rentals. So I shouldn't be in this Airbnb. This shouldn't be an Airbnb. She makes me really uncomfortable. The place is lovely. I did an awesome video of this spot. It's awesome. But I wish I had really known ahead of time about this. I'm sure that would have it would affect someone's decision as to whether or not they stay here. Because the signs also say that as soon as they find out that you're here, they will call the police, and you'll have to leave immediately, which is not what you want when you spend money to be here. So that made me uncomfortable. That's an issue that needs to be worked out, because I'd like to know ahead of time if I'm going to have to agree that if someone comes banging on the door or asking me questions, whether or not I'm willing to lie for this person, or for the fact that, or just to try and stay. I'm not really comfortable with that. But the less I went in and out, the less likely they were going to see me or have issue with me. So I've made it. But it's been really nice to have a place to rest and have the time to do that before I hit Kyoto, because I'm going to be running while I'm there. So that's it for my recap. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like the additional photos and videos, and have a good day. Ja mata. See you later.